Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Blind Boys Politics. Nicholas Rod, Chris Baker here with you on this Monday morning. Chris, tell us how we're going to start it off this week as far as weather is concerned.
In Los Angeles, California, it's partly cloudy and 69. In Houston, Texas, it is thunderstorms and 80. In Chicago, Illinois, it is raining and 61. In New York City, it is partly cloudy and 75. So it's either rain, thunderstorms, or partly cloudy.
Yeah.
Pick your poison.
I'll take partly cloudy. I'm happy with that.
Good choice, because that's what we're going to have.
Exactly. I don't have much of a choice.
So how was your birthday weekend?
My birthday weekend was pretty fantastic. On my birthday, went fishing, which was interesting. There were literally no fish, but that's okay. And then didn't have cake, but what we had was a chocolate peanut butter tart, and it was actually extremely good. I was very pleasantly surprised because it was just a little store-bought thing, a little store-bought tart, but it definitely didn't disappoint.
Nick, just shut up, okay? Stop talking about food, because I had the world's largest sweet tooth lately, and the problem is I don't feel like baking. Which, if you know me, that might be a sign that I am sick. Because I'm always in the mood to bake, and I haven't even had the mood to make chocolate chip cookies, the easiest thing you can make from scratch.
I'll tell you something, though. I had a real predicament. I think it was Friday, working on a project for my computer science class where we had to create a web page, and the web page had to be the recipe for our favorite dessert, and I decided to go with German chocolate cake.
Oh, shut up.
Let's just say by the time I was finished, I was like, I need to bake now. I couldn't, but I wanted to so badly.
I haven't been in the mood to bake, and it kind of makes me sad. Because I really want to bake. I really want to bake things, but I just do not. I'm not in the mood.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm not in the mood to bake, it doesn't go well.
Catastrophe.
As it is, I'm already a messy baker.
Mm-hmm.
I clean it up, but I'm a messy baker from the start. And when I'm not in the mood, I'm a messy baker 10 times. And then when I take it out of the oven and it doesn't look like I want it to look like, let me just say I have thrown sheet pans across the kitchen before.
I think that's something we've actually talked about here before.
Not even kidding. I took the cookies off the sheet pan, put them on the cooling rack, turned around, and threw it right into the sink.
Oh my god.
It rattled a lot, and it scared the animals. And I did it 3 more times. Also done it with knives before, so.
Okay, so moral of the story is I should never be in the same room as you when you're baking.
If it goes bad. Which is like 10% of the time, because I'm just a good baker.
You're just a master.
I have to give myself credit. I have learned a lot in baking, but when it doesn't go well, if I'm expecting it to go well, but it doesn't go well, I get really mad. But if I already know it's not going to go well, it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
But if I expect it to go well and it doesn't go well, it would go crappy.
I love to bake. I don't really have too many opportunities to bake, to be honest. But when I do get the opportunity to, I absolutely love it. Both baking and cooking. I enjoy them both quite a bit.
Well, I have the extreme love for baking because I have a KitchenAid thing, which anyone knows those are quite pricey. I have an ice cream maker attachment for the KitchenAid. I have like a whole cake setup thing, like the piping bags, the spatulas, the cutters. I have over 150 different design tips for the piping bags. I have like donut pans. I have sheet pans, cupcake muffins, butt pans. I have like so many pans. I can't even name them. Like, I'm obsessive about my baking.
You're hardcore.
Like I love doing it in the winter.
Yeah.
It kind of leaves me in the summer a little bit, but in the winter I love to do it because I mean there's not really much more to do in the winter.
I was about to say, in wintertime is like that perfect time to bake. It's one of those things where it's like it's cozy, you have a nice muffin or a nice cookie or, just something like that. Something nice and cozy and nice and warm during the dreary months.
And I have a lot of things for cooking too, but mainly baking. Fun fact about the ice cream thing, I spent almost $100 on that thing,
Oh my
and it's
God.
still brand new in the box.
Jeez. I was actually going to ask if you had used it.
Because I don't get in the mood to
Mm-hmm.
bake in the summer, and you're not
Right.
gonna like really eat. I mean, you can, but I don't really eat ice cream in the winter. And making homemade ice cream, it's like a 12-hour process,
Oof.
12 to 24-hour process,
Ouch.
and I don't want to do it in the summer. So I might have to like be strategic about it and make it in the winter and just freeze it for the summer.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you'll get like a strange random kick one of these days to do it during the summer. Who knows?
You would think, but I've had it for 4 years.
There's always a chance.
The one thing I do miss is homemade pasta, and I broke my homemade pasta attachment for the KitchenAid. I'm still very upset about that
You and
because it
I
was
have,
a very expensive broke.
yeah. Based off what you've told me about that one before off air, that sounded pretty ugly.
That was when I threw knives. Not
Yeah.
even kidding. I was trying to unjam a towel that I got stuck, and the knife wasn't helping, so I threw the knife in the sink.
Whoopsie. At least it was
Yeah,
in the sink.
it was not a whoopsie. I did it intentional, and it was a throw. It was not a toss. Because that thing is just as expensive as the freaking KitchenAid itself. But nevertheless, let's move away because I'm starting to get a
He's
little
getting
angry
heated.
about that.
Chris getting heating about his cooking supplies.
But it's about anything that you spend like all this money on it
Oh yeah.
and then you break it.
Yep. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts a lot. I know exactly what you mean.
So I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet, figure out how to fix it, or buy a new one.
Yeah.
So if you want to donate, just kidding. Or am I?
Oh God.
But nevertheless,
All right, we got a talk of the talk to get to here, don't we?
Nick, do you have Instagram?
I do have it, yes.
Do you ever use it?
Not anymore. I used to.
Have you ever like watched your follow count very religiously, wanting that follow count to increase, increase, increase?
I used to watch it pretty closely for a time. Never changed, but I watched it.
Now I feel like that's the modern day Twitter for you.
I'm, I've made sure not to let that become a problem. I definitely could, no doubt, at times. But no, I keep that reasonable, thankfully.
See, I don't even glance at Twitter followers anymore. I used to when
Hmm.
I had a contest about it. But now that I'm the clear winner of that contest, I don't even look anymore, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I'll only look if you bring it up.
Hmm.
And so I feel like neither one of us, this. Have you ever gone to great lengths to get Twitter followers or Twitter or Instagram followers? We'll just say Twitter or Instagram.
No, I don't dare, because I know I won't pull it off.
See, I had to be honest with you.
Hmm.
When I had my Twitter contest, I was debating whether or not if I should buy Twitter followers.
Oh, jeez,
I didn't follow through. It
that's
was
good.
just a thought that popped into my head, and then it left.
Yeah, one of those things that started out as a thought and stayed a thought.
Yeah, you never know what could happen if that happened.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was a thought. I will be honest, I did look up at pricing, and when I saw pricing, that thought totally left my mind. I was like, nope.
Forget
But
that idea. That hurts my soul too
yeah,
much.
and see, Instagram followers, I have it. I don't know my handle. I don't know how many followers I have. I don't even know how many people I follow. I've never posted the thing. I don't even have a profile picture.
You are just a hardcore Instagrammer, aren't you?
Very hardcore. I manage the Blind Boys Politics Twitter or Blind Boys Politics Instagram account. And if you can't tell, I've done an outstanding job with that as well.
Oh, masterclass.
So, I mean, same with TikTok. I could probably guess how many people I follow, but I don't have a clue how many people follow me. And I don't even know if I have anyone that follows me on TikTok.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, Nick, let's say you were very obsessed with getting Twitter followers. Would you dress up as a high schooler and go into a high school and try to get people to follow you?
So we're assuming this is when I'm no longer a high schooler.
Yes. Yep. Add like 10 years.
10 years. Okay. No, definitely not.
No?
No. No.
If you were very obsessed with your Twitter followers,
Okay.
what is the longest length you would go?
I think the farthest I would ever go is probably, like you said, maybe buying followers. I can't do like any of these like crazy, these crazy public stunts or whatever, like you said, dressing up and getting myself into a high school or whatever. It, nope.
Really? Because honestly, okay, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I would maybe consider spray painting my ad on a billboard in town. But that's like 3 to 4 years ago. Now I wouldn't because I know there would be consequences to that.
Right.
Probably very costly consequences. And
Yeah.
well, we all know how poor I am. So, by Twitter followers, well, there is this 28-year-old in Florida dressed up as a high school student, had a skateboard, had a backpack, all dressed up. Went into the high school, was trying to get people to follow her. She was going to classes.
Oh my God.
And then one teacher noticed that she's never seen this student before. And she started to investigate, and some of the students started to tell her, yeah, this lady asked me to follow her on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Well, long story short, she was arrested. We're waiting to see what happens there. But she dressed up like a high schooler. Apparently, a high schooler has a skateboard. Maybe when she went to high school, that was still a thing.
Oh, it's still a thing now. Are you kidding me? The amount of people I still see with skateboards around is insane.
Like they get on their skateboard and ride it to class to class to class.
It couldn't do it for like between classes only because of just the way my school is. But no, they're still like like oddly popular.
See, I'm not talking like just riding them to like school and home and like just around town. I'm talking like legitimately riding the skateboard to class to class to class.
Right.
Around the school. I know that used to be a thing.
I would love to do that now.
But that's not a thing anymore. I'm sure that's a safety issue in a lot of schools.
Yeah, most schools don't allow that at all.
True story. Someone did that on a bike in my school. They got suspended. So I should try it with a skateboard, see what happens.
But to go to that length, to go to those lengths to try and get followers, no. Why? How? I don't understand how people can do this stuff. And I guess it's just because I'm not social enough. I'm too
Smart.
no, what's the word? Introverted?
Oh, Nick, let's be honest. You're an extrovert.
I'm really not though. I'm extroverted. I'm outgoing with people I know, and I
Uh,
can be pretty outgoing if you can get me into a conversation. But unless like you really get me talking and really get me into a conversation, and if I don't know you, oh no, just stay away from me, please. I have a heart like I just had no. No, no, no.
See, I'm introvert in the sense of I'm not a homebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm home too long, I start to go crazy.
Yeah.
But to just go somewhere and hang out, I'm like, I would rather just stay home and watch TV.
Yeah, I mean, I
Like
don't
if I'm gonna go somewhere just to sit on your couch and watch TV, what is the point than me just staying at my house and watching TV?
I don't mind hanging out with people. It purely comes down to people I don't know. Like, I don't know, just straight up shy, I guess would be the correct uh description for it, but no, I just can't, I do not understand how people can go to these lengths and like use these methods just to try to get followers.
So what you're saying is I will never have to report a story how a crazy journalist went on a crazy spree to get Twitter followers and now I need a new co-host.
No, that'll never be a problem that we're gonna have.
Okay. Well, with that, I guess let's get into a COVID-19 update. Why don't
All right. So we start out this COVID update with the fact that almost 60% of adults in the US have at least one shot of a COVID-19 vaccine. 250 shots have been administered across the country thus far. Hey guys, Nick here. Just a little error that I noticed while editing here. Uh, you heard that I said 250 shots. I meant 250 million shots. So 250 million shots have been administered nationwide. The latest 7-day average for cases across the country is about 36,000. If you live in New York City, Shake Shack is giving out free fries to those who are vaccinated.
a ninth member of the New York Yankees have tested positive after getting the COVID-19 vaccine. For more information, check Nick's article that he is writing for Tuesday. In New York has had their lowest positivity rate since October 10th, 2020. And as Ohio is lifting the mask mandate along with many other states, they have reported their lowest number of 700 cases in months. And in May 18th, no more masks will be required in Walmart unless the state still has that mandate.
Well, kind of speaking on that topic, we have some news about a change in CDC guidelines for people who are fully vaccinated. According to the new CDC guidelines, if you are fully vaccinated against COVID-19, the CDC says that you no longer have to wear a mask indoors or outdoors, and you no longer have to social distance. You are considered fully vaccinated 2 weeks after your final vaccine dose. The CDC says fully vaccinated people can resume all activities you did prior to the pandemic. But you are still required to wear a mask on planes, buses, trains, and other forms of public transportation traveling into or out of the United States. This also includes U.S. transportation hubs such as airports and stations, along with all healthcare facilities such as hospitals and doctors' offices. You are also still required to wear masks in certain businesses, such as Target, CVS, Home Depot, and that list can grow.
You may still be required to wear a mask in some places, like states, local tribes, or territorial laws. Now, you might be wondering, how could this be? Didn't the CDC say something totally different like 2 weeks ago? Yes, they did. But the CDC director did say several things have changed within the last 2 weeks. COVID-19 cases have dropped more than a third. 58.7% of adults have received at least one dose. Vaccine supply is more readily available, and 12 to 15-year-olds are now authorized to get the vaccine from Pfizer, along with new studies that have just been published suggesting that the vaccine is effective against all variants. On the flip side, if you are fully vaccinated and still want to wear a mask, you can still do so. And those with compromised immune systems should consult with your doctor first before removing the mask. And for more information on the new mask mandates, or I should say unmask mandates, visit the CDC's website at cdc.gov.
Moving away from COVID-19 and all of that, we have an update on the stimulus payments that are still being sent out by the IRS. 1 million more people got an EIP3 last week. Again, like we've said many times before, this is not a new stimulus check. This is the same $1,400 stimulus check that was signed into law through the American Rescue Plan back in March. The IRS paid out the ninth batch to those that were still owed, bringing the total to about 165 million checks since March. The ninth batch includes direct deposits and paper checks. 500,000 payments went to eligible Americans that the IRS didn't have on file, but did once a tax return was filed. There were also 460,000 plus up payments issued. Just a little reminder, today is tax day, so if you have not filed your tax returns, you might want to do that, well, as soon as possible.
Starting this week, if you pay taxes on your first $10,200 of your unemployment, the IRS says the first batch will be distributed this week and will continue throughout the summer. So far, the IRS has identified more than 10 million taxpayers who actually qualify for this benefit that was made possible by the American Rescue Plan, signed into law back in March. The law says the first $10,200 of your 2020 unemployment benefit is tax-free if you are a single filer, and the first $20,400 if you filed married and both were on unemployment. To qualify for the refund, you must meet these requirements: have an annual gross income less than $150,000, have already filed and paid your 2020 taxes, and were on unemployment in 2020. If you qualify, that doesn't mean you are going to get $10,200 back. It means if you qualify, you will get back the taxes you paid on the first $10,200. And any more unemployment benefits that go beyond that $10,200, you will still have to pay taxes on it.
The IRS says that the refunds will be automatically recalculated, so this means that you will do nothing. The refund will be done in phases. The first phase will be for single filers with simple returns. For those that gave the IRS your banking information, you will receive a direct deposit. If you didn't, you will receive a paper check. Along with this, you will also receive a letter within 30 days from the IRS explaining the recalculation of your refund. These refunds can be garnished if you owe back child support, past federal taxes, state income taxes, state unemployment, compensation debt, spousal support, along with any non federal tax debt like student loans. If your payment is garnished, the IRS will send you a notice explaining where your money went.
Transitioning into the 2020 election, an unprecedented audit of the 2020 election is underway in Phoenix, Arizona. The audit is expected to last another month, while this week it is going to get packed up and moved out for high school graduations. And if the count is still going on, the move out will happen again for the following month's gun show. The results of the recount will not change President Biden's narrow win in the state of Arizona. The recount was ordered by the state-run GOP Senate. The recount is being run by Cyber Ninja, whose CEO has retweeted election conspiracy theories on Twitter.
For a while, the media was not allowed in. This was until last week. Observers have seen them putting the ballots under UV lights, looking for watermarks. They are also photocopying the ballot, checking the thickness. Along with this, they are also looking for bamboo off of the belief of hundreds of thousands of ballots being flown in from Asia. All these tests are based off of QAnon conspiracy theories. Officials say they are about 25% through all the ballots and haven't found any election fraud.
For the first time, there has been an arrest of an active service member in relation to the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Marine Corps Major Christopher Warnegrest, he was released from jail after his first court date last Thursday. He is up on 5 counts: assaulting, resisting, or impeding officers, obstruction, and unlawful entry. Prosecutors say he is seen pushing through police officers and holding the door open for more rioters to come in. And when an officer tried to close the door, he fought the officer. 40 veterans have been arrested in relation to the January 6th attack.
Well, that is what we have for our main news portion for today's episode. Let's move into some rapid news. Grey's Anatomy, ABC's hit medical drama, has been renewed for an 18th season.
Celebrity Jake Paul is being investigated for driving on a protected beach in Puerto Rico.
Bill Gates was spotted for the first time over the weekend since the divorce with his daughter, Jennifer.
All right, Nick, tell us, what do you have for this morning's good news?
All right, so for this morning, pretty cool story, especially cool to me because I'm a chess fan. And 10-year-old, and I'm going to try and pronounce his name. I apologize if I butcher it. Tani Tolua Adewumi became the 28th youngest U.S. Chess master. And his story is pretty crazy. Him and his family were at one point refugees from Nigeria. And when they got here to the country, they were in a homeless shelter in New York City for quite a while. And in his school that he was in, there are typically fees that have to be paid to actually be a part of their chess competitions and all that and part of their club. But the teacher waived all the fees for him, and eventually a GoFundMe was set up that raised over $154,000, and they ended up getting their own home. And then he went on to become one of the youngest U.S. chess masters. Like I said, the 28th youngest, and now he's working his way up to being the youngest grandmaster. But it's even crazier beyond that because he's also written his own book. If you're interested, it's called My Name is Tani and I Believe in Miracles. And it's also being greenlit to become a film. This kid has just had just an amazing story so far.
How old did you say he was?
He's 10.
And he's a chess champion.
Yep.
Wrote a book.
Yep.
And now it's going to be a film.
Yep.
And migrated from Nigeria.
Yes.
Talk about a coming up story. I mean, coming From a migrant from Nigeria, winning a chess tournament at 10 years old, writing a book, and now it's going to be a film.
And not even just migrating in general, just
in 10 years.
Yeah, and being a full refugee, being forced to leave your country, coming here to the US, and while in a homeless shelter, you're learning chess for a year. Didn't mention that part. He was only learning for a year and then managed to work his way to becoming a US master. A US chess master at 10 years old.
I'm 18 years old and I don't have a clue how to play chess.
Look. I kind of know how to play. I'm not terrible. Am I any kind of master at it though? Oh, dear God, no. No.
How does that make you feel?
These
A 10-year-old could wipe the floor with you.
Oh, probably in like 7 moves too. It'd be bad.
And he's also wiping the floor with like every American with their careers.
Yeah, I mean,
You know
this
what? I
kid.
never want to hear anyone ever complain about their childhood and how that's influenced their life. If anyone ever tells me that again, I'm just going to refer them to this episode because, I mean, talk about not an easy childhood and then doing this all at 10 years old. So I'm like, wow.
Yeah, to have this much of a story at just 10 years old and to honestly just get through so much living in a homeless shelter, having to, being forced to leave your home country to come here, live in a homeless shelter, and have to battle through all of that and all the struggles that come with that. And now to be at the top like he is in writing his own book, having his own film being made, and working his way to being the youngest grandmaster, international grandmaster in the world. He still has about 2 years to make that goal. I don't know. If he's made it this far, I think he can do it.
In probably less than 2 years.
Yeah, no doubt.
Great story, Nick. That is the end of this Monday morning episode. Make sure you follow us on the Blind Boys Politics Twitter account for the latest 24-hour breaking news so you are always in the know. Follow us on our personal accounts to see what we are up to. But until Wednesday morning for another dumb log, see you later. Have a great start to your week.
Bye, guys.